Welcome. Friday here at the virtual Y studio. Chance with a chair yoga practice for all. I hope you've had a wonderful week of reflection, of observation, and perhaps some new understanding about how to move forward in your life. This chair yoga practice is a great way to just check in with your body. The mindfulness talk that I just gave right before this, I wanted to recap one of the underlying themes, which is connection. Connection and dimension, or size, scale. I am in the universe. And the universe is in me. The same is true for you. So whether you zoom out to the globe, the solar system, the galaxy, the universe, there's some type of design, movement, kind of this divine knowing, patterns. And if you want to zoom into your body, you have systems, cells, organisms, atoms, and subatomic particles. It just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And you'll find the same as if you go larger and larger and larger. There's a design, a divine wisdom, patterns that show up on every scale, in every dimension. And when we think of the importance of a phrase like I am in the universe and the universe is in me, then you have to think about, well, where and why would I believe these things are separate? In this reflection of seeing the perfect nature, the patterns, the designs within our body, then why do we find ourselves feeling so disconnected, so out of sync, so detached, lonely? And this, at least in part, can be viewed through a bit of wisdom from Bruce Lee, one of my favorite contemporary philosophers, who said life is a process of relating. So the spheres around us, our household, our community, our jobs, our city, our country, our world, further out you go, there's some type of design. There's some type of frequency, energy, and connection. So there's no reason to feel disconnected, out of touch, or not in place. But this comes from our belief that somehow this internal order, divine design, wisdom doesn't exist in our body the same way it exists out of our body. But it does. And this practice is about being attentive inward to recognize that our body is exactly the way it is in accordance with our relationship to our body. Same with our life is the way it is in accordance with our relationship to the spheres around us: household, community, city, country. So getting to know how do we remove our disconnect is by having faith in this divine design. It's taking place within our bodies. How do we remove our fear? How do we remove our parts of our relationship with our body that don't serve us or that bring us to results we don't like? So in this practice, we're going to breathe and we're going to stretch with the intention of trusting that our body knows what to do. All the cells, the organisms, the systems, the biochemistry, it knows what to do, but we need to give it the space and the attention to remove any of the pieces that don't serve us. And in turn, not only does our body function better, but it functions easier, freeing up energy, freeing up attention. So let's sit up tall with the intention of releasing anything stopping us, anything disconnecting us or separating us from that universe outside of us and the universe inside of us. There is no separation. Only in the stories we tell ourselves about who we are in relation to this universe. Let's start by breathing a bit more deeply. Just notice, how is your breath right now? As you start to slow down the breath, breathing in deeply into the belly, expanding, drawing down on the diaphragm, stretching the ribs, and breathing out smoothly, noticing the softness or the release of pressure as we slowly breathe out. Notice your spine. Can you sit up taller? Can you relax your shoulders more thoroughly? And notice how you're relating to your body in this moment. The more attention you pay inward, the more this internal universe reveals itself to you. And you might notice what it's revealing is tension, soreness, stiffness, usually not the most inviting sensations. But instead of believing something is wrong with that, remain paying attention to wherever there's discomfort and breathing your awareness into that space. You might notice your breaths becoming deeper, slower, more abundant, more fruitful, and more powerful. You also might notice that your body is revealing where it feels disconnected, tight, sore, stiff, uncomfortable. But if you notice the cycle of breath coming in, creating pressure, and then the cycle of breath going out, relieving pressure, you notice that every full inhale and exhale leaves us with less pressure than before. Even as our breath gets bigger, the exhales relieve the tension. So this is one of the key elements we're going to be using is the breath keep the breath flowing rich. Notice, how does it change your internal world? What does it reveal about your body? Maybe your shoulders, maybe your heart, maybe your hips or low back. Whatever it reveals, don't shy away from discomfort. Not to mistake that with pain. We don't want any pain in this practice. So if the discomfort is extreme and makes your body want to clench or quit, you're doing too much. We're being gentle, gently observing. Inhales and exhales. Good. Now what we're going to do is start to warm up the spine, moving with that breath. To keep expanding the breath into more movement, more spaces, more corners of the body that might have been forgotten or neglected. So on your inhale, let's arch the back. Kind of press the tailbone back, pull the shoulders back, lift the chin up. And on the exhales, let's tuck the chin, hollow the chest, round the spine, and tuck that tailbone under. This is like a cat pose, but modified. On your inhale, we'll move to that modified cow pose, where we have open chest, shoulders back, tailbone back, chin lifted. And exhale very slowly. Cat pose or modified cat here, rounding the spine, finding length in the back line of the body. Inhales, find length in the front line of the body. Exhales, the back line of the body. Notice how slowly I'm moving. And notice the slower you move, the more opportunity you get to notice the details. The little places in your body that are moving, that are transforming, that are changing, opening, or simply revealing where we're holding tension or stiffness. We'll take a few more of these. Maybe the motion is becoming more exaggerated or more defined, more profound. Maybe the breath is becoming louder. Noticing how much of a physical massage the lungs are giving the body on the inhale and the exhale. On your next inhale, let's come back to a neutral spine. And very good. We're going to stretch the neck with a very slow movement called dolphining of the neck. This is really good for your cervical spine and your thoracic spine, so your neck and shoulders. We're going to move very slowly and notice the details of the movement. You don't have to push anything too hard, but you're going to start waking stuff up in this movement here, especially in the neck, but also around the heart and the full length of the spine. I'm going to shift to the side a little bit so you can observe how this motion moves. On your inhale, we're going to reach the chin forward, trying to keep your shoulders back and your spine long. And on the inhale, we're scooping the chin down like we're trying to pull like a marble or a golf ball up underneath our chin and trap it there. And on our exhale, we're going to gently open the heart toward the sky. So we're kind of arching the back, but we're keeping the chin slightly tucked, the shoulders drawing down away from the ears. So I'm moving very slowly here just to demonstrate. But now, take the pace that works for you. On your inhale, we reach the chin forward and scoop. Exhale, we gently shine the heart toward the sky, relaxing the shoulders. Don't have to push anything too hard. Definitely don't need to move too fast. The slower the better. You might notice stuff in the jaw, in the neck, up by the skull. As you're gently shining that heart forward, you might notice tension in the shoulders, the low back, the shoulder blades. Move slow with reverence. Trusting that every breath is removing blockage slowly. Don't force anything, but just observe how your body's changing. It might be very subtle at first. It might sound like snaps and crackles and pops. But no matter what, trust the universe inside your body is tapping into that divine design, divine wisdom that knows what to do. Just a few more of this movement. The word yoga means to connect, or unite, or join. And for me, that definition means to connect the mind and the body with the present moment. So when all of your attention is paying attention to the body, that means you are all the way present. Last breath here. And we'll come back to center. On your inhales, shrug your shoulders up. Just see what shifted. On your exhales, let your shoulders come down. Do that a couple times. Keep the breath rich and loud. See where you can soften and release. Notice any heat, any tightness or tension, any draining, any release that you've noticed. Have that trust and faith inward. Good. Next, we're going to bring the right hand around the back and press the back of the hand into the small of the back. Place the left hand on the left side of the chair. And on your exhale, we're going to lean, tilt the head toward the left. Work to keep the back long and straight. Notice if the chin is lifted or tucked, and see wherever you find the right amount of pressure or tension. And as you're sitting up tall, fill your breath, lengthen your spine. You don't have to push this stretch hard at all. Just notice how every breath reveals and every exhale releases. Two more breaths here. As you unbind, take any organic movement. We'll take that left hand, bring it around the back, and press the back of the hand into the small of the back. Lengthen the spine, and tilt the head toward the right. Finding a lengthening in that left shoulder, the left side of the neck. Make sure your spine is vertical, really lifting up, sitting up tall. And bring attention to the power of that breath. Every inhale finds pressure. Every exhale releases it. Last couple breaths. Keep the shoulders relaxed, the spine long. Come back to center. You can remove that hand, shrug the shoulders, and notice what shifted. Very good. We'll take a twist as we wrap up here. Take the left hand, bring it to the right knee. Place your right hand on the side, bottom of the chair, or reach around to the back if you can, and look out over the right shoulder. Once again, it's all about the length of the spine here, and that we don't need to push anything too hard. Point the chin, as best you can toward the right shoulder. And breathe with all of your observation and attention inward. What happens in the body? Where in the body is receiving the stretch? Where is it revealing disconnect? And can every exhale come with that sense of trust, that letting go of this belief of disconnect leads to more connection, more power, more faith, more love, more opportunity, more abundance in life. Come back to center. Take the right hand, place it on the outside of the left knee. Bring the left hand to the left side of the chair or around the back and look out over the right shoulder. Ground down to the seat. Twist the spine. Deep, slow breaths. Observe every corner of the lungs. What does the breath reveal to us about where we're blocked up? Where we've been clenching or clinging or storing away our stress without noticing. Anytime it's revealed to you, the exhale is remedying it to some degree. A few breaths are going to improve your situation no matter what. And many breaths are going to improve your situation even more. Simple, but not always easy. I can slowly come back to center. Palms facing the sky. Relax the shoulders. Reach up tall through the crown of the head. Take a few breaths in gratitude. Place your attention in your body. What has shifted in this practice? Where does it feel warm? Where does it feel like worked? Where do you feel stuff happening? Where do you feel aware? Where you weren't before? Sometimes the benefits are very subtle and hard to perceive. But science shows with repeated practice, we can rewire our entire nervous system, healing from emotional trauma, physical trauma, chronic suffering, pain, and illness. All can be improved upon with this practice of paying attention to your inner universe. Thanks for joining me today. Happy Friday. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you soon.